The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Hi, Daddy.
I'm the most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as good. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. Blue, you're my boy!
Cut it up. Cut it up.
It's game time with your hosts, E-Dub, Ty, and ATL Phil.
What time is it?
Welcome to the Game Time Radio Show.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what up, what up, what up? It is game time. Welcome to the Game Time Radio Show, episode number 6. We are here in the Game Time studios in lovely Atlantic Station. I'm your humble host, E-Dub from the 813, and with me is the Game Time crew plus one more. So let me go ahead and introduce the crew today. To my right is the CEO, our very own CEO of ATL Sports HQ, the man that reps Kennesaw State, Mr. Cool, ATL Phil. What's going on, my guy?
What's going on, everybody? Happy to be here.
I bet you are happy today, man. I bet you are happy today. We'll get into that a little bit later. And my guy to the left, a guy who has a streak of radio appearances at 2. Now that he made last week and he made 2 this week. He's on a 2-week streak of making it to the show, man. Our guy, Ty, no radio ID, Ty. We got to get him a radio ID, man. Ty, what up, man?
It's good to be back, man. It's like NBA jams. I'm heating up. You know, it's good to be back.
All these smiling faces from Atlanta Falcons fans. We'll get into that. And our special guest of the day, the guy that you've seen on our Facebook, you've seen on our Instagram, on our web pages, our guy, the realtor of the Game Time Radio Show, Mr. Peter Beckford. Pete, what's up?
What's up? And also Dolphins fan. I'm the claimant today since we managed not to screw it up.
So it looks like I'm the only team in here that caught an L. Man,
and we thank you for that as well.
Dolphins almost screwed that up a few times.
They tried to. Hey, man, we got a full show for you today, man. As usual, fresh off the press, bells and buzzers, around the 285 store of the day, man. We have a full show for you. So thank you for checking us out. Make sure you do 2 things. First of all, I want you to go, if you're listening by Facebook, click on that link and like the Beckford Realty page, man. He has the solutions to all your realty needs.
Yes, sir. Yes, I do. And
he can make it work for you. So make sure you like his page and make sure you reshare the show, because when they reshare, then you reshare, then it gets reshared a lot, and that's a good thing. So, Ty, go ahead and get us out with some of this housekeeping, my brother.
Oh, absolutely. We always want to remind you all to follow us on all of our social media. You can find us at first of all, GT Radio 1100 on Instagram and Twitter. We're also, you can find us on Facebook at Game Time Radio. And then our website, of course, is gtradio1100.com. Again, make sure you subscribe there and give us 5 stars. And, of course, you can find us on iTunes and iHeartRadio and TuneIn app radio.
Yes, sir. 5-star rating, guys. That's what we need. Even if you hate the show, give us 5 stars anyway, because if you don't, we will be inclined to think that you are a hater. But let's go ahead and get into this, man. Sean, our first segment, fresh off the press, man. Let's go ahead and get into this thing.
So we were the ones that started with this fresh revolution.
Cool and the gang. He's fresh.
Fresh fish! We catch him, you buy him!
Fresh off the press.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fresh Off the Press segment, the freshest news off the press. First things first, man, the freshest news is our man Peter Beckford.
Hey.
He doesn't even realize it, but he sponsors this segment. So the sponsor is sponsored by my man Peter, Beckford Realty. And we're going to take just a few moments, man. We're going to chat with Peter about the real estate game and some things about himself. And first things first, Peter, let us know, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. What services that you offer and all of that jazz, man.
Absolutely. Well, I'm, of course, a realtor. I do listing services. I do buyer representation. I also do commercial real estate. I do commercial leasing. I work with new developers. I pretty much work with everybody, man, from Henry County all the way up to Grayson, everything in between. If you got something in the Blue Ridge Mountains, we could talk. We could figure it out.
What are some, and I wanted to ask you, what are some of the misconceptions about real estate that most people have about buying and selling?
Some of the misconceptions I would say is that they're not in a position maybe to buy. They can't afford it. There's not options if they don't have money to put down on a purchase. I would say things of that nature. Are pretty good. I would also say that it's more costly than leasing. That's another thing I hear a lot about, and that's not necessarily the case at all.
Okay. What do folks need to know about, what can you tell us about the Atlanta market? We've heard a lot of things that the market is down. We heard things that the market is on its way up. You being in this business, what would you say the market is right now?
Well, currently the market has fairly low inventory. It's been like that for the majority of this year. Sellers have been in a good position as a result of that. So that's really been good for sellers. I would say right now with the market, it's slowing down. We're getting close to the holiday season. But those that are in a position to buy, I also think it's a great time to buy because those sellers, they don't have as many in the market to purchase their properties. So buyers have a great point of leverage currently. And if you are in the market, definitely hit me up. It's a really good time. We could take advantage of these listing agents and get you a great deal.
Yeah, let's see if we can. What's the number they can hit you up at, Peter? Let's see if we can put that in the chat room, Phil.
Absolutely. Call me anytime, 404-547-3151. I could say it a million times like Mike Jones if I could. 404-547-3151.
Hey, don't y'all prank call my man. Don't prank call my man. You know, hit him up.
No, of course. Respectfully, yeah. If you have a need, I would love to assist you. I know I could do some good work and get you in the home of your dreams in no time.
Definitely, man. We're definitely going to put that number in the chat room. And Peter's going to stick around with us for the rest of the hour, man. So first things first, man, we understand that you are a Miami fan. So tell us your allegiances, man. Where are your allegiances?
So,
what set you claim, man?
Right. So my set is in South Dade, Miami. Pretty much raised in Perrine, West Perrine, more specifically. As a result, I am a Miami Hurricanes fan. You could start there.
The U.
Then you could take it to the Heat. And I'm not talking about LeBron Heat. I'm talking about the Ronnie Cycli.
Oh, he went to the back.
Ronnie Cycli.
The
Sherman Douglas.
The Grant Long day.
I'm talking about when we were going to get somewhere. I thought we were going to get somewhere with Willie Burton. That didn't pan out. Steve Smith. I'm talking about the UTEP two-step with Tim Hardaway and Lonzo. And then, finally we got Dwayne Wade, and we got him, the first championship was against the Mavs, you know, so we got that one. Then we took a little hiatus, 4 years, and then Bron decided to piggyback off of, Dwayne Wade. You know the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I like the way you think.
Yeah.
He piggybacked.
Yeah.
Oh, man, let's go.
Let's keep it
but that's what's up, man. We're going to get into some of that Miami Heat talk a little bit later. Some Miami Dolphins got a victory as well. Everybody got wins there except for those sorry Buccaneers. But in fresh news, man, we're going to talk a little bit about this Jimmy Butler saga. If you have been living under a rock, Jimmy Butler went into practice. And everybody knows that he's looking for a trade. He went into practice and he berated his teammates and ownership, saying, you need me. And he pretty much called out all these cats. And ain't nobody had nothing to say about it, Phil. When you think about Jimmy Butler's story, like, to me it's been hilarious. Like, what are your thoughts on this whole Jimmy Butler saga?
That boy needs some help. But they got to trade him. I mean, it's too far to repair it right now. They absolutely need to trade him, and they need to do it before Wednesday, honestly. They don't need to carry that into the locker room. That locker room is already fragile. I mean, you got some fragile players on there already.
But that's what Jimmy said. Jimmy was like, yo, man, y'all ain't about this life.
And he's not making it any better. That team, you're just going to be fighting yourself the whole season if you hang on to that. It's not going to work. Get you some draft picks, get you some young pieces, and, well, unfortunately for them, start the rebuild again. I mean, at least you got Cat and Wiggins, so.
But here's the thing, Ty. What do you really have if you have those guys? Because he was like, yo, man, them dudes ain't got no heart.
Yeah, from what I hear, he went into practice and picked, like, the 4 guys like on third string and ran against.
He pretty much got us.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and like won every game during practice and was like, "You all need me." Like I just showed you, you cannot win without me.
Yeah.
So I don't think that if their attitudes don't change, even with the talent that they have, without him, they won't go far at all, man. And I respect what he did, to be honest with you.
I think they proved, or he proved his point when he beat the starters with the third stringers.
Yeah.
And then he talked about it in front of their face after that and called them out, and they still didn't do anything. I think that's his point.
Yeah.
They're not vested. You know, they're content, man. You know, number one picks. They feel good about life.
If you listen to the interview when he sat down with Rachel Nichols afterwards, he was like, "Hey man," he was like, "I bet you I know Coach is sitting in his office laughing because he knows I'm right. He knows I'm about competition. He knows I want to win." He was like, "Who's the best player on this team? Cat. Who's the most skilled player on this team? Andrew Wiggins." He was like, "But I'm the heart." And he was like, "Without me, y'all ain't got no heart." And ain't nobody step up to the plate.
And unfortunately, he's true. And unfortunately, they cannot coexist at this juncture. So he's out of there. Come on down to South Florida, Jimmy. We need you, brother. Dwayne Wade's knees is broke.
Yeah. No, here's the thing. He's been linked to Miami. A lot of they had a deal that was very close, but it fell through at the last moment. I think that he's going to end up there. The question is, and I'm going to ask you as the Miami resident, you know, who do you give up? I mean, like, I'm wondering what that package looks like. You know, what are they willing to part with? I don't think they're going to give up too much. I mean, I don't know. That's the question.
They just signed Justice Winslow, I believe, to an extension, but he'd be on a first boat out of there. I believe that the league still perceives him as having value and like someone who can reclaim his past Duke potential.
Yeah,
but
it is past Duke.
But hopefully the league could perceive that value still and ship him out. And maybe, I don't know if we have any draft picks left, package something else. I think right now Minnesota is expecting too much in return that they're not going to get at this point. I think in the market.
That's the word on the street.
I think in the market, Jimmy's devalued his value to everybody else already, so it's going to be tough on him.
Yeah. Apparently the deal was agreed upon, and then Tibbs was like, "No, I need more draft picks."
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that ain't going to happen to us.
Did you guys see... We all know Mike Muscala's dad on Twitter. See, he kind of got in trouble.
He got in trouble. Go ahead and set that one up, Phil. He got into a little tirade.
Yeah, he kind of went off about the Jimmy Butler situation, and well, Philadelphia said,
Yeah, so they had to issue a statement, I believe, if I'm right, Phil, like, because it was littered with like racist, make America great type stuff.
Oh wow,
nice.
Yeah, and you guys remember Mike Muscala, former Hawks player who's now with the 76ers. And they traced the IP like down to the back of his pops. So like Ty, if you're picture yourself in Mike Muscala's shoes, like your pops comes out and gets online and just starts.
If you're in Philly and you're on the internet, stay off. Isn't that how the GM got hemmed up? They're gonna find
somebody
you.
else got caught. Was it Kevin Durant making fake pages or something?
Yeah.
Like, why can't these people realize they can trace you no matter what you do? They're gonna find you. So I would be embarrassed if I was Muscala, man. I'm like, Dad, like, sit tight. I barely have a job here. Like, don't get me kicked out. I just got here. So yeah, I would be embarrassed, man.
Yeah, because his dad is always some like cool person. You know, he's always supported my writings and everything on Twitter. So,
so you know Pops like from like you know him like on social media from the social media stuff.
Yeah. He's always seemed like a cool guy.
Wow. And I like Moose. Like Moose, let me tell you a story about Moose. Moose is one of the hardest workers that I saw on the Hawks because I was covering the Hawks when they drafted Moose. And I remember after games, Moose would come back in the locker room drenched with sweat. And I'm like, yo, my man didn't play. Like, he didn't play. How is he drenched with sweat? If whether he played or not, after a game, he would go play one-on-one. He would hit the treadmill. He would like do work and then we saw the evolution of him. He began to get more minutes. He added the 3-ball. And it was cool because I was there like in the beginning when this dude was getting no minutes until, he became a really serviceable role player. So I've always had love for Muskie, man. That dude's a hard worker. And hopefully him and Pops can figure out the little issues that they got going on. So
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So shout out to Mike Muscala. Shout out to Jimmy Butler. And I do think he'll end up in Miami. And
let's go, Jimmy. Come on, man. Come on. Let's do it. We need you.
Oh, man. Yeah, man, I think he'll end up in Miami. So what we're going to do is take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to get into the story of the day. And everybody knows what the story of the day is. We got to delve into this football. And I'm wearing black for a reason. I'm wearing black for a reason.
Slow singing flower.
I'm wearing black for a reason. You're listening to the Game Time Radio Show on the Real 1100, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Facebook Live. We'll be back after this.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the Real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
Are you tired of ESPN ignoring Atlanta sports?
From their 25-yard line. And Freeman found a hole. He's across midfield. Devontae Freeman inside the 20, the 10. Touchdown. 75 yards.
ATL Sports HQ is your source for all things Atlanta sports. Built for the fans, by the fans. Visit atlsportshq.com today. Are you ready for another season of Atlanta Hawks basketball?
Here's Bays lobbing to Collins and a beauty. Orient for three behind the Collins screen. Nothing but net.
Hawksbeat.com. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram at Hawksbeat as we cover your Atlanta Hawks all season long. Hawksbeat.com, the pulse of your Atlanta Hawks.
Bazemore plants his feet. Bingo!
Kent Bazemore's on fire.
And now it's time for the story of the day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, the Game Time Radio Show, and this music is appropriate because it sounds like how my heart feels. I went down there to the Dome with all my Tampa Bay Buccaneer buddies pregame, posting pictures. Yeah, we gonna eat some Falcon today. And my Buccaneers promptly went out and lost to the Falcons 29-34. The battle of bad defenses, the Buccaneers proved supreme because they went out there and they could not cover Swiss cheese. Julio Jones, 10 receptions, 143 yards. No touchdowns again, but great day from him. Great day from Matt Ryan. I don't know where to go, man. All I know is that Mike Smith better not get on that bus. He better not get on that bus. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if you're listening, tell me, do not let Mike Smith on that bus. That defense is atrocious. Wow. It's been atrocious, and he does not need to be on that bus. Let him take his own way back to Tampa because that's how fed up I am. Ty, you got to be feeling pretty good about your squad today. 34-29. I know they had your heart beating all the way down to the last second.
Just real quick on Mike Smith. It's funny because when I was watching the game, they panned to him up in the booth or whatever, and I got scared. I was like, "What is he doing?" I said, "Oh, he's with Tampa Bay." I'm like, okay,
don't worry about it. He's still on the Falcons' payroll. They just didn't publish it.
I got scared like I had a flashback, man. But to be honest with you, man, like I'm happy they won. I'm not excited. It was just the way that they won that game. They could have still easily lost that game at the end. It was so ridiculous. I'm like, we always give them just enough time to beat us. Yeah, it's just one extra second that they need to beat us. And but luckily, we came out on top, man. We need to buy like really bad to get healthy, Doc.
Yeah, if Deshaun caught that ball, he was walking into the end zone.
Can't believe he didn't catch it. That was crazy.
He would have walked in. You saw his reaction after. He couldn't believe himself. He was probably beside himself in the locker room. But I don't know, for some reason, I still believe in the Falcons this season. I think they're getting used to all the injuries on the defense. They'll find a way. You got the Giants coming in. That should be a win. You go into the bye week at 3-4. I mean, the players are going to start to come back, some of them.
There is a lot of football to be played.
There's a lot of
we have new injuries today. Like even the kicker got hurt today.
Yeah.
Like how does a kicker get injured?
In my thing exactly. Like 2 of your wide receivers went out. You have one wide receiver to stick. Sanu is not there.
Right.
Ridley is not there. But yet and still, Julio is still running wide open. Like we had no idea they were going to throw it to Julio. Mike Smith, when they panned to him in the thing, I'm willing to bet that he was not even calling plays. He was probably playing Tetris
Candy
or
Crush.
Angry Birds on that computer of his. He wasn't doing nothing had to do with defense.
He was doing the same thing he was doing when he was with the Falcons. And
Talk about sleep at the wheel, man. They showed our stats, man. Wow. This man is inept, and he needs to go. I'm calling for his key card. Mike Smith got to go, man, because that defensive performance today was terrible. And even the guy calling the game, Chris Spielman, was like, they're running a 3 deep. Why is your guy running 30 yards back as soon as the guy hikes the ball? And it was so many ineptitudes in that game, man.
What do you guys think of the decision to kick the field goal there with the Falcons one down?
Stupid.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Stupid.
It was a ballsy play.
It was.
And it was like, it worked kind of in his favor because he made the kick.
Right.
ultimately, but that was super risky.
It was super risky.
Super risky.
But look, man, he was in a position where he was like, yo, man, I done lost, 3 in a row?
Right.
He was ready to
lose.
He was ready to shake him up and try, and he rolled that 7, man, because Matt Bryant, God bless him, the former Buccaneer, who we got rid of. Now he has never missed a field goal.
Right. Your guy missed an extra point today.
Yeah, and our guy, we've had kicking woes for the last 3 years. We drafted a kicker out of FSU like in the second round one year, and he had to be the worst kicker I've ever seen in my life.
Was that grammatical?
No, Aguayo
okay.
out of FSU.
Oh, wow.
He was god awful. But shout out to Matt Bryant, man. They played a good. I mean, he's got the leg of iron, man.
Yeah.
Like he's always had a good leg. But
did he get injured today on that kick?
On that kick, yeah.
Oh, so Matt Bryant got hurt too?
Yeah,
like
the kicker got hurt too.
Kick,
we have 2 receivers down in the kicker. Like we can't catch a break, man.
As soon as his leg came down from kicking that field goal, he was hurt.
Yeah, we talked last week and said Ty may be out there in a Michael Vick jersey playing strong safety. That may be a reality. These bodies keep dropping.
Right.
If you got a Falcons jersey, please report to Mercedes-Benz for free tryouts. And I don't know, man. Ty said, you got the victory, but he didn't really feel too well about it. There's a lot of football left, man.
Yeah, we still got 10 games left. They can realistically 8-2, 7-3 if they get this together. Because look at the results of all the rest of them. The only game that was not lost on the last play pretty much was the Pittsburgh game.
Yeah. I think the challenge that they're going to have now, though, is that they got the Saints in the same division.
Yeah.
Panthers, I think, are ahead of them, too.
Panthers lost today.
I ain't scared of the Panthers.
Shout out to the Washington.
You're not afraid of the Panthers?
Nah, no one's afraid of the Panthers.
Oh, okay.
But like, our only other win.
That sounds like a Falcons fan. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, like NFC South teams, like none of us are afraid of each other because like we all have the same formula. We all suck at defense.
Right.
So it's really about who's going to suck more today.
And then Matt Ryan, if we weren't 2-4, Matt Ryan would be the MVP favorite.
Matt Ryan is having an amazing year.
Yes.
Like I said, for a 2-4 team, he is putting up amazing numbers.
Yep.
As a non-Falcons fan, though, for some reason, I still feel it's all his fault. I don't care what nobody says.
Hey, I said this.
He's my go-to.
I said this on show number 2. I said this on show number 2. It's hard being a white quarterback in Atlanta, man.
Oh man,
it's hard being coming after Michael Vick.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It's hard being a white quarterback in Atlanta, man. Because this dude, man.
Yeah, he ran for a first down today too. I was surprised. Most of the time, when Matt Ryan runs for a first down in the game, we normally win those games. I don't know what it is, but he has a move a little bit for us to do something. He did it today, so
yeah, it took about 12 seconds, but he got where he needed to go.
Right.
He got where he needed to go. So I'm not, one to belabor the point, man. So shout out to the Falcons, man. They did what they had to do. They go to 2-4 on the season. The beloved Buccaneers fall to 2-3. Hopefully, Mike Smith didn't get on that bus. Although I think he did.
Yeah, he definitely got on that bus.
So next up for the Falcons do you guys have a bye week next week?
No, we got the Giants on Monday Night Football.
Giants on Monday night in front of everyone.
Oh, that's a win.
But the Giants have been playing so terrible. So early reaction, how do you feel about going and playing a Giants team that has been playing some terrible football?
That's where we get back on track.
He's the eternal optimist.
Yeah, I got one.
He said the Hawks
I got
45
one.
wins. So.
I got one.
That wasn't me.
That was Uncle Marcus.
I got one concern for the Falcons, and that's who is going to tackle Barkley.
I don't know, man. That's a ball player.
Who's going
right
to
there.
tackle him?
Nobody.
That is a ball player. He just going to have to
With
trip
everybody
a ball.
getting injured, with the defense not stepping up as they
We know
should.
Eli going to throw you a couple. He going to throw you a couple.
Yeah, he's going to give you a couple gifts for sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say this right now. I think this may be the game that Eli gets benched. Y'all heard it here first.
He deserves it.
The bench for who? I mean, who's the bench?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
We'll see. Next up for the Bucks, I don't even know who we play next week, man. It don't even matter, man. I'm still soothing from, it don't even matter who we play next week, man. But no, we got Cincinnati or Cleveland, one of those teams. But
hopefully
we'll just have to see till week 7. Next week is week 7, isn't it?
Yep.
Wow, man, this week is flying by.
I'm already getting sad because the season's almost going to be over. Then what am I going to do?
I know,
gosh.
right? Well, luckily for us, man, we cover sports all year long here at Game Time Radio.
Yeah, y'all got Cleveland next week.
Cleveland, that's what we got. So let's get into a little bit of your talk, man. You said that you are a Miami Dolphins fan, and they squeaked it out today.
Yeah, they tried their best to pull a Buccaneers to pull a Cleveland Browns. My man, I think his name is Drake, running back, fumbled on the 1 before he crossed the goal line, and I thought it was a wrap from there. I just thought it wasn't in the plans, but somehow, some way, they gained favor in the last few minutes, and they were able to pull it out. But I don't think what's his name? Osweiler, Brock, whatever his name is.
The genius that is Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a repeat performance. Hopefully, whatever's ailing Tannehill, I think it's his shoulder, and not that he's the Joe Montana of quarterbacks, but I think he's a little bit better than what Brock has to offer. Hopefully he can get himself together.
Shout out to my man Derek, Chicago fan. I feel your pain, my brother. I feel your pain.
How did Trubisky do today?
Trubisky was 316, 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
1 INT. Pretty well.
He's starting to ball, man.
He put up them numbers, man.
That's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's starting to ball. And it's kind of surprising that we put up that much against that defense.
Yeah, that is really surprising to
I'm
me.
not sure what Camille
he
was
Camille
playing
Cosby?
like he was playing like Camille today, I guess. I don't know, but I wonder.
Yeah, no sacks on the board for the Chicago Bulls, man. So that is very rarely.
Surprising.
Not to rain in your parade, but you guys 4-2. Traditionally, the Dolphins have been known to come out to good starts and finish the ending.
And blow it. I fully expect that to happen. That's why I do not emotionally invest myself in my Miami teams as much as I love them. I tell nobody until we're in the playoffs and we've won one game. That's my formula.
Derek said they were gassed during the game. So I guess, this is one of those games where, the offense is taking over and, your defense has nothing. When you go a whole game and the defense doesn't get any sacks, man, that is a sign of your defense being tired. But shout out to the 4-2 Dolphins, man, though.
Give it up, man. Are we in the first place or a tie or something?
I haven't checked the standings. But,
I gotta check that out.
It's just a matter of time because
y'all are in first place, but New England still has to play.
New England's coming. New England's coming.
I know.
That man down the river is
I've been doing this for
coming.
like a decade plus. I know, man. I know.
We always talk about the teams trying to give us help when they play other NFC South teams.
Right.
So shout out to the Washington Racist. They they had a victory over those blasted Carolina Panthers, and that is one thing we all have in common. Bucs fans and Falcons fans is that we hate the Panthers and we hate the Saints. So it's always a good day when the Panthers lose. And shout out to the Washington Racists, man. They took care of business today. Alex Smith passed for a mind-boggling 163 yards, but he had 2 TDs, and I didn't see any clips from the game, but it doesn't really matter.
Apparently, you wouldn't want to from those stats.
But here's the thing. He passed for 163 yards, and they didn't even have, a lot of rushing. Adrian went for 97. Yeah. This was a sloppy game. I don't even know where the scoring came from.
I was about to say, what happened? It must have been a safety, 3
Yeah.
safeties. Let me do the mental arithmetic.
Yeah, I don't know, but shout out to the Washington Racists for winning that game, man. So, We'll see, man. That is the week in the NFL. We are at the halfway point. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And we're going to come back to hit our Around the 285 segment. I forgot to mention this, guys. We are going to be taking your studs and your duds. So call us up if you want to give us your studs and the duds. 404-603-8770. Or you can tweet us. Or you can leave those in the Facebook chat. Who are your studs and duds for the weekend? You're listening to the Game Time Radio Show on the Real 1100.com, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Facebook Live.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio